Hey there, and welcome to Have Fun, Be Nice, Do Good Work. I'm Katie, and today I'm excited to share my 2025 spring knitting plans with you. These knitting plans might be too ambitious, but I love to plan, and my current queue on Ravelry is epic, and so this just helps narrow it down a little bit so I know what I'm working on for the next few months. I'm not trying to make it like it must get done in the spring. In fact, you'll see some of these spring knitting plans are actually just mini plans, mini goals for larger projects. Oh, hi, Bing Bong. My first project is the Gingermint Shawl. This is a design by Jen Peck, and this was designed for a Verb for Keeping Warm quarterly yarn club. And so the yarn that is used for it is the yarn that came in the club. This is Annapurna, 80% merino, 20% cashmere, 100% amazing. This is in the colorway Peppermint. Oh, isn't it so nice? And then the same yarn in sort of a half hank. This is the color Ginger Green Tea. And here's what they look like together. The pattern calls for these exact yarns, but it's sport weight yarn, and the needle size is a US 6, which is a 4mm. And it's a little bit lacy, a little bit rock and roll. Yeah, it's a symmetrical triangle shawl. And my favorite thing is that in the description it says it's going to create a meditative knitting experience, which I'm excited about. I could use a meditative knitting experience. There it is. It's beautiful. I'm excited. I'm looking at the project page on Ravelry, and like so many people have already finished theirs. This came in, what month is it now? I think this came in November. So it's reasonable that people have actually done it, but I'm just getting started on it now, because November was a busy time of other knits. Okay, so that's the Gingermint Shawl. The next pattern is the Aviva dress by Alanna Miall. And where's my yarn for this? Here it is. This is gonna be my birthday cast on. I have had this pattern and this yarn for, maybe close to a year. I bought this pretty early on in my journey last year, and I just never got around to doing it. It was a little bit overwhelming, but it's such a perfect spring and summer garment that I feel really excited to work on it, and I feel like my skills are ready for this thing. So let me tell you about the pattern. The pattern comes as a dress or as a top. You can just make the top part. I'm aiming for the dress, although I don't understand how this is going to be enough yarn for that, but I'm aiming for the dress, and it uses fingering weight yarn and a 3.5mm crochet hook. The yarn that I am using is Hobbii Rainbow 84, 100% cotton, in the colorway, wait for it, 47. Well, that's not sexy at all. Can you guys have names? I feel like it had a name on the internet, but and there it is. I have this bag full of it. It just doesn't seem like enough yarn to make a whole dress, but what do I know? Yeah, I'm planning on casting this on. Next week is my birthday, so I'm planning on casting this on as sort of a birthday jumpstart. I probably won't do it on my birthday because I have to work on my birthday, but you know, it's your birthday the whole month, right? I think so. So here's this one, Aviva, the Aviva dress. I will say, even though I haven't made it yet, I will of course report back once I start making it, but the pattern is incredibly detailed about how to measure yourself, how to get the garment to fit, adjustments to make for different body types. I love that because especially with crochet is not as stretchy as knit. And so I find the fit has to be more exact. And this pattern looks incredibly promising. Hi, Lacy girl. Next is the Filigree Tee by Julie Knits in Paris. And this is just a little t-shirt with a cute detail along the neck and the cuffs and the hem. It's a nice open gauge, easy breezy for summertime. It calls for a silk. Let me make sure that I'm telling you the truth. Yeah, it calls for a lace weight silk yarn. I am doing this with my second shipment from the A Verb for Keeping Warm Proverbial Yarn Club, which is this Reliquary. Look how beautiful. This is the colorway Honeybee's Haven. And I love this yarn. It's so beautiful. I love the color. But this is merino and silk, 80% merino and 20% silk. So I don't know enough about wool. Am I going to be able to wear this in the summer? Probably not, because it gets very disgusting here in the summertime. So probably not going to wear it in the summer. But I think it'll be a great spring knit or early summer, or that transition from summer to fall, where it's like kind of hot during the day, but it's kind of cool at night. I think it'll be a good transitional piece for that. And the color is nice because, like, I think this color works for all seasons. Hopefully it works for my season. I'm a deep autumn. Do I need to tell you anything else about this? Oh, right. This did, as this was part of the yarn club, it did come with a pattern, but it was a shawl. It's a very nice shawl. I just don't wear shawls that much, and so I have to be super jazzed about a shawl to make it, and I was not feeling super jazzed about this shawl. And I love the color so much that it's something I really wanted to wear. So I was looking for a t-shirt, a top that would be an open enough gauge that I could just use the one skein. And this is 875 yards in one hank. So it should be plenty for this t-shirt in my size. Yeah. Oh, one item of note about this pattern. I've just glanced through it. I haven't gone deep yet, but it is one size on a page. So you don't have to like read all the numbers. You just pick your size and look at that one page. What? Game changer. I'm so excited about that because gosh, the number of times that I think I panic. And even when I've highlighted it, I still am like, wait, did I highlight the right one? Did I change my mind? Yes, just one page. Thank you. Thank you, Julie Knits in Paris. The next item on my project list is the Lupiinit socks by Suvi Lyytikäinen. And I discovered this from another podcast, actually. It's a really fun spring knit along with Galanthus. With Galanthus. Oh, great. Now I have to look up how to pronounce that. I don't know how to pronounce anything. These socks came to me as I was watching a video by Galanthus Knits. She's doing a really fun spring knit along where basically you just knit anything that's spring related and you're part of the team. Excuse me. So this pattern, she did a roundup of knitting patterns. I'll link the video below because it's a great video. So many really wonderful patterns. But this pattern, when it came up on the screen, I gasped. I was so excited about it. And I don't get that excited about socks. So this is a real moment. And they're DK weight socks, which I have been hoping to do a DK weight sock. I've only done one pair of socks. They took me forever. So I'm excited to try a DK sock. Okay, so I am using this, the yarn I'm planning on using is Madelintosh DK, and this is in the colorway Rumor, which is a really fun speckly guy. And I thought of this yarn immediately because I really love this yarn, but I would never wear this as a garment that is sort of forward facing. It's just none of my colors and not really my style. It is the style of my heart though. It's just not the style of my actual fashion. But in socks, yeah, I will totally wear this. And for the contrasting colors, I have all of this leftover yarn. Dropped one. I have all this leftover yarn from a sweater that I made from the Fireweed Fibre Co. Yarn Advent 2024 edition. And they're all different shades of blue and purple is what I have left. I used all the lighter ones, but I have all of these. So I'm not sure what combination I'm gonna do yet, but I thought that those would be kind of a nice situation. So I'll see which ones. Maybe I'll do one for the whole thing, or maybe I'll pick a couple different ones. I do really like in some of the videos, in some of the pictures of the socks that I've seen, I really like it when the cuff is a different color. So I think I'm gonna do a dark cuff, and then I don't know about the flowers yet, but that is this one. So those are my 4 projects that will absolutely not get done in the springtime. Like, who am I joking with here? It's March 4th today. I'm not intending on starting any of these this week. I'm gonna wait until next week because I'm wrapping up some other projects this week. And spring ends in June? Although here, I live in Maryland and spring is over by June. It's summertime weather-wise. So I am not setting a hard goal. We'll see what I get done. I have no idea how fast I can knit. So these are just things I'm gonna start working on. Let's call these spring cast-on plans. I like that better. There are also 2 gifts that I want to make. I don't have yarn picked out for them yet, but one is a pair of baby booties for a friend who's having a baby, and she's having a baby shower in May. So I'm gonna make these little baby booties, and my goal is to make them look sort of like hiking boots. I like the colors that are chosen in this picture. You can see they really look like little baby hiking boots. She and her husband, both of them are work colleagues of mine and lovely people. They are big adventurers. They love hiking. And so giving their little baby some hiking boots, how cute is that? And then the second gift that I'm going to be working on is for my husband's birthday. So if you are my husband, you should stop watching now. It is this pattern. Okay, I have to tell you the first pattern. So initially I found this pattern that is called the Baseball Player Golf Club Cover. My husband likes playing golf and he loves going to baseball games. So I wanted to make him a golf club cover that was in the colors of his favorite team. But this pattern is not available anymore. And so then I found this other one, the Angry Bird Golf Club cover. And after intense interrogation, my husband has decided that the Orioles are his favorite team. We live in the DC area, so we're sort of exactly between the Orioles in Baltimore and the Nats in DC. And so we go to both teams quite often. But he committed. He likes the Orioles the best. So I'm gonna use this Angry Bird Golf Club cover and make it an Oriole instead. And I think it'll work perfectly, almost just as it is. I think I might make the ribbing striped to make it like sort of pinstripe baseball pants, like old-timey pinstripe baseball pants, baseball uniform. How do you call it? It's the costume. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make the ribbing striped, possibly. I have to make some decisions about the colors, but I'm really excited about that because I think it'll be really recognizable. And then I think I'm gonna make the bird a little hat, a little baseball cap that has the O for Orioles on it. Because that won't take that long and it'd be so cute. And it's a free pattern. So let me tell you who it's by though, so I'm not being a stealer. Angry Bird Golf Club cover by Knitterbees. Knitterbees. It calls for DK. Yeah. The projects are so cute. Oh my gosh. Like they're just, you gotta check them out. Okay, so that's my second gift. And then I have 2 just sort of, I'm gonna call them spring knitting goals on larger projects. So I have 2 big projects that I'm working on this year. And I say working on, but I haven't started working on them yet. And that's why I need to give myself some mini goals because year-long goals, not my thing. So the first of those is the Wallflowers blanket. This is an enormous project and I love it so much, but it just, it's like not the kind of thing that I can just pick up and do for 5 minutes. I have to really be in the groove and commit to doing it in chunks. So here is what I have so far. I have 2 of these garlands. And then I have a few pieces, like this flower is a good example, that will eventually go into this and piece them together. There's 6 of these flowers that piece together, and these flowers are what combine the 2 garlands. So I have 2 garlands. There's no way for me to show you this. I have 2, oh Lord have mercy on my soul. Got the 2 garlands here, and these flowers will connect them. Exactly like this. This is exactly what it's gonna look like. And so my goal for the spring is to finish chapter 4 of the project, which is filling the void. So I need to finish, I have 1 more of these flowers to make, and then I can connect, and then I need to fill in the gap between the 2, which is not insanely huge once you put these chunky flowers in. And I'll show you this up close. This pattern is made of all individual teeny tiny little cute hexagons and a lot of dog fur in my case. And so each one of these is made and separately and then added in. So it's not like I'm just gonna do single crochet to fill in the middle. Each one of them is gonna be another little popcorn or a little pebble or something like that. I might even have some to show you. This little guy. I'm going to make a bunch of these and then you turn them into hexagons. I am really excited about this part of the process. I mentioned this in a previous video that because I'm finally going to start incorporating some of the darker colors. These are my 2 darkest colors. And I think it's going to really help anchor some of these more exciting colors that I have in the blanket. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah. So I'm going to fill the void on my Wallflowers blanket. Let me put away all 8,000 of these pieces. I will say the nice thing about this pattern is like once you start making something, it's like, all right, well you need 40 of this one piece. And so it does get quite rhythmic or mindless because you just get really good at making those little things and then you're just changing the colors a little bit, but it's a lot to get organized. It's a lot to get set up. Especially, I've taken a little bit of a break from it. And so it's like, wait, where am I? How do I do this again? So this is going to be my project for on the road. I'm going on the road in a couple weeks. And so this will be my bus project. That's the last time I worked on it was as a bus project. And it's perfect because then I can just leave it on the bus and work on it every time I get on the bus and not have to worry about cleaning it up or leaving something behind. It just all stays on my little seat on the bus. Let me put these socks away and then I'm going to tell you my last exciting project to work on. And my supplies. Now my second year-long project that I have been working on, and again I say working on by which I mean thinking about working on, is I have a goal to knit with dog fur by the end of the year. Or crochet with dog hair. I don't care. Like whatever. But I want to spin it into yarn and use it. I have 2 dogs. Can you see them? Maybe you can see that guy. Anyway, I have 2 beautiful Great Pyrenees mixes. They're little sassy babies and they shed so much. So my goal, my year-long goal, like my dream goal is to be able to make enough yarn to be able to knit a wreath, a small wreath, and put a picture of them in it and make a Christmas tree ornament. That is my goal. That's not a lot of yarn, so hopefully I can make that happen. My goal for this season, my spring goal is to wash and separate the fur that I already have. I have this bag full of dog fur. And you can see why one might think to knit with this, because it looks a lot like wool. But particularly one of my dogs has a double coat, and so there are like outer coat guard hairs, I think is what they're called. Don't quote me on that. So I need to pick those out because those get really spiky when you try and spin it, and just keep the soft stuff. I have experimented with this before. I have washed some of it, and I was able to get the dog smell out, which is really great. I also am planning on reading this book, Knitting with Dog Hair. Look at that. I love it. There's also another book that I have looked at from the library, so I'm going to check that one out again too, and it's a little bit more about spinning, because I'm not sure if this one actually talks about how to spin it. This is my first attempt at spinning it. You can see it's pretty bad. Not a great attempt, but lessons were learned, and I think that the biggest lesson is that I don't know how to spin well enough to try spinning something that's difficult to spin. So my other goal for this season is just to practice spinning with actual wool. I have some wool I took a spinning class last year at my local yarn store for this very reason, because I wanted to be able to knit with dog fur. And so I will use my little drop spindle here and practice with wool. And for my final project, I feel totally wonderful if it's a 50-50 wool Great Pyrenees blend. I don't need it to be all dog fur. If I get that advanced, that's fine. But I'm not trying to be a hero. I think it's really fun. And they shed so stinking much. It just feels nice to make something out of it. And I know this is morbid, but welcome to my brain. I know someday they will be gone. And it seems like a really beautiful way to keep them forever. They're both healthy and fine. Like they're fine. But you know, dogs just they don't live long enough. So yeah. That's my final goal. I mentioned this in another video, but if you have dogs and you have a garden and you have squirrels that like to eat your garden, even very poorly spun dog fur works wonders as a pest deterrent in your garden. And it makes it kind of an easy way to interlace it through your garden. We have some tomato cages, and we just laced it through there. And those, man, we had more tomatoes than we knew what to do with, because the squirrels left them alone because they thought there was a predator there. I just have to show you this one picture on the back of this because it's amazing. It's of a lady and her daughter and their dog, and they're all wearing little dog accessories, including the dog. I love it. It looks like these pictures, it looks very fluffy, like it's gonna be like a little bit like mohair. So we'll see. Oh, you know what? It does have spinning in here. That's good. 100% golden retriever scarf. So cute. Oh, look at that tam. Oh my gosh, look, they have like little dog charts in here too. Okay, I don't need to read the book to you right now. That is just one of my goals to do. Okay, I think those are all my spring knitting plans. Yes, I'm checking my list. Yes. Okay, great. That's it. What are you guys making for spring? Spring is an interesting season, right? I think for knitters, I get the sense that many knitters really prefer fall and winter for knitting, but then we all really love spring for the sunshine and the longer days and the warmth that is starting, the promise of warmth, even though for many of us it's not warm yet, but the promise of warmth. So I'm curious how you feel. Like, where are you on the spring has sprung excitement train? And what are you knitting? Do you have spring knits? Do you have seasonal specific things, or you just stay on the sweater weather train all the time? I'm interested to know. I have made a couple of spring knits before, and I do wear them. Well, I've worn one of them many times. The other one I finished just in time for it to turn cold. So I will wear it. I should have worn it today, but it's still cold. It's still cold here, so I did it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. And if you've made it this far in the video, I hope that means you liked it. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. I would love to see you around here more often. Until next time, have fun, be nice, and do good work.